So we are here with JD at the ST Reunion 24 conference here in, I typically would like to say sunny Florida, but unfortunately it's not as sunny or at least as warm. I'm coming from Michigan, so I can't talk. But so we have JD here, and I always like to kind of start, JD, if the guests can kind of talk a little bit about their product and what it is that they, and we'll get off into the Shark Tank experience a little later, but at least what product that you were on Shark Tank with?
Yeah, so I'm with xcraft. I'm co-founder of xcraft, which is a drone company.
Yep.
And we were on Shark Tank fairly early on, season 7.
Okay.
And we, on Shark Tank, I had a couple different products actually. I had a drone called the X+1 that was like a drone that could take off vertically and then fly like an airplane.
Wow.
And then land vertically. And then I actually flew that one on the set.
Really?
And flew it through the hallway and landed on a table in front of the sharks. And then halfway through our pitch, I had something in my back pocket, which was another drone that we call phone drone. And it's actually a drone that you put your phone in, and it uses the camera, the GPS, the cellular modem and everything to fly the drone. So it's kind of and we have patents on all of that.
Nice. So let me ask you this: what was the inspiration behind that product? Because I know a lot of times, at least what I found out as being a patent attorney doing this for about 10 years, is that people are typically trying to solve problems in their daily life or a problem that someone else may have, that they're trying to help them solve that problem, and then that ultimately turns into a product and they protect it and things like that. What was the inspiration? Were you always into flying object, airplanes, drones, or?
Yeah, I was always into flying objects.
Okay.
I don't say, people ask me how I got into this, and I say it kind of got into me. It's just part of me. Like, I always was, as a kid, making little flying toys and stuff. I was into RC airplanes, and then I'm a pilot, got my pilot's license and everything later. Went to school to be an aerospace engineer. It's just kind of been part of me.
For sure.
So I guess the problem I was solving was more just, like my own desire and need to do this, It was something that had to come out of me,
So, and then I would imagine that, again, if you're already an aerospace engineer and kind of working kind of in corporate from that perspective, patents and IP, because I know a lot of times, especially when you have a startup company, people don't know anything about IP, much less patents, and have a patent attorney that they can call. But I would imagine in your case, being an aerospace engineer, that's something that patents is a very familiar thing. Would you say that's the case?
I would, yeah. That was one of the very first things we did as a company, almost like right as we were founding the company, is applied for some patents, because I had an idea for this high-speed drone, and my co-founder and I just kind of talked about it. He was sort of a business mentor of mine, and he recommended that we get some patents in place. So we got a small amount of money together to apply for the patents, and then we put the business together, and then we took that idea and funded it on Kickstarter originally. And so we had applied for the patents, so it was patent pending, and so we actually were able to raise some money on Kickstarter of I think it was $160,000 or something that we raised on Kickstarter. And then that's what got us noticed by Shark Tank, because we didn't actually apply for Shark Tank. We had the producers actually email us because they were looking for a drone company, and they had seen our Kickstarter, and they came to us and asked if we wanted to apply. So.
And I was going to say, it seems like kind of it runs the gamut from a Shark Tank perspective, whether a producer come looking, seeking out that particular company, or the company has applied once, or I know some people have applied over and over again to Shark Tank before they finally kind of broke through. So it seems like you're saying that the producers kind of reached out to you guys, and then you guys, I'm not sure if you guys had to go through a process or it was kind of pretty straightforward. But again, this season 16 now, and I think you were saying earlier that you were on season 7, so you guys have kind of withstood the test of time. I guess going back to that Shark Tank experience, was that something that was nerve-wracking for you guys as you were kind of pitching the product?
Oh yeah. Or? It was nerve-wracking to fly my drone in front of 5 billionaires and land it in front of them and hopefully not crash into them, right? But it was also, I'd never even pitched the company ever, other than, we did a product pitch on Kickstarter, but we hadn't pitched the company. So the producers did kind of help us along a little bit in the process to apply. We had to go through the application process, but once we were on the show, it was kind of a surreal experience to like be standing on this set and just be having to pitch my company that I've never even. It was the first time I'd ever pitched, and I'm pitching on national television in front of 5 billionaires. So.
Talking about being thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
So then, okay, the show airs, and now I guess what was it like the aftermath of that? Did kind of sales go through the roof, or like what was kind of the aftermath of being on Shark Tank?
Yeah, it was good aftermath. We on the first night that it aired, we got over $300,000 worth of orders on our website, and we hadn't. Up to that point, we'd only done the Kickstarter, and I think we had 160,000 of sales, but that kind of took us to the next level.
Okay.
And I wasn't even. There was really 3 employees in the company when we went on the show, and now we've grown much larger than that. But it's it definitely took us to the next level. And I was working more. Kind of almost 2 jobs. I was working I had a consulting business for doing aerospace engineering. And I was able to kind of put that aside and make xcraft my full-time gig after.
So you're
after
full-time with xcraft now.
Yeah.
So then what do you guys have, I guess, coming up that I'm not sure if you can share some things that's on the horizon for you guys, products that, kind of new products or new kind of drones or things like that you would be launching. Again, I understand people want to, I guess, I don't want to say reinvent themselves, but it seems like in season 7, was that maybe 10 years ago or almost 10 years ago now?
I think it was about 8 years ago, but that we were on. But yeah, it was a while ago.
So then, as far as like kind of new things that you guys have coming up, what is like the focus of xcraft at this point in time?
Right. Well, right now we have about 7 different products, and we pretty much build to order for the most part, and they're for commercial applications like survey mapping, security, public safety.
So this is like some high-powered, high-tech stuff.
Yeah, but we're right now. We started out more in the consumer space, and now we're actually getting back into the consumer space. And just because there's opportunity, there's a lot of pushback against China and Chinese-made drones, so we're kind of filling that void. There's going to be a lot of market share opening up here, I think, in the next couple of years. So we're really tapping that market. We've also gotten into light show drones, so we're building drones for light shows. And that's been a really good business. I think that's a good market. I mean, because you don't just sell one drone at a time; you sell thousands of drones at a time.
Sure.
So that's been a really good market for us. And then we've got other some new public safety products that are coming out that are really interesting. I can't talk too much about them, but we are applying for patents for them and getting those in place. So yeah, it's kind of good.
No, and that's great. Definitely that you're protecting the IP, particularly the patents. And yeah, this drone space, it seems like it's going to be interesting going forward. I'm hearing a lot of cool things as far as kind of drones delivering packages to people and kind of being able to kind of perform all these kind of different features that you wouldn't think of. So it seems like it's definitely more to kind of stay tuned on that. I actually brought my 5 or 6-year-old daughter, and I got her like a $30 drone from Target, whatever the case may be, going back to the whole consumer side of things, and she seems to really enjoy that. I guess I have kind of 2 final questions for you, and I always like to ask the guests these questions, especially the first one. What advice would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur, someone who maybe have an ideal and they kind of want to act on it, kind of build a business off of it, but they're kind of nervous for whatever reason? Again, you talked about never pitching, the next thing you know, you're pitching on national TV to billionaires. So what advice would you give to somebody else who's maybe trying to kind of break into business? They have an idea, they're trying to develop a product, kind of much like you did. What advice would you give to that person?
I would say at least one of the main things I would say to someone like that is don't give up. You have a good idea, stick with it, don't give up. And also surround yourself with good people that support you. I mean, your family or friends that can support you, not necessarily financially, but potentially financially. And then also just encouragement, because I mean, the road is long and sometimes very difficult. We've been at this for 10 plus years, and there's been times where I wanted to give up, and there's people around me that said, no, let's do this, man. Let's buckle down and make it happen. And so you need those people around you. So surround yourself with good people.
I like that. I really like that. Don't give up. Surround yourself with good people. And then I guess the last, maybe the more important question, the most important question is, how can people follow you? How can people follow xcraft? And to the extent that they want to kind of purchase the product, whether it's, I know you said you're doing some consumer stuff, but even on the more commercial side of things, how can people kind of go purchase the product, purchase one of these drones or a lot of these drones?
Yes. Well, our website is xcraft.io. And that's probably the best way to find us. You can also find us on all the social media channels. We're xcraft UAV on all the social channels. So check us out. We have some new products that we just released, more for consumers, and you can find those. We have one called the Nano, which is a small little drone that it's below. There's a limit for the FAA on how large of a drone you can fly without a license. It's below that limit. So, and then we've got a larger one that's more for. It's similar to what you might find from Chinese drone company like DJI, and it's similar price point too. So all of our drones are made in the USA. So that's something that is kind of a differentiator too for our products.
So I got a follow-up question based on what you're saying, because I know you had mentioned China a lot. Is that kind of a big part of like the drone market, where majority of the drones are kind of made over there in China? Yes,
primarily one company called DJI. They have somewhere between 70 to 80% of the market for consumer drones in the U.S. And lately there's been a lot of pushback from our government against just kind of the security issues that come along with drones that come from China. And so that's been an opportunity. Like, a lot of public agencies are stopping the procurement of Chinese drones, and they have to find alternatives. So we're obviously one of those companies. We call ourselves America's Drone Company because we are American. We have fully U.S. manufactured product, but we also have product that is made in the USA with potentially Chinese components, and that's going to be a little cheaper. But we definitely pride ourselves in the ability to manufacture right in Idaho and USA. So that's what we do well.
No, and it definitely seems like kind of that whole U.S.-China relationship has been in the news lately. I know, kind of speaking of Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary is trying to buy TikTok, and it seems like that is kind of up in the air based on it being a Chinese company. But again, definitely xcraft, American company, drones made in America here. So definitely go follow them and purchase the product, an American-made drone. Thanks for the time, JD. Appreciated the conversation. I always like these things because I learn a ton about kind of the product and the business of others. And it's always great when the IP is protected and that's secure. But again, man, you're a pro at this as an aeronautical engineer. So again, thanks again for the time. And audience, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you next time.